The CBS 4 Tropical Storm Laura update.
Latest advisory on Tropical Storm Laura is 11 a.m. advisory. Now, the maximum sustained winds are still at 40 miles per hour, but Laura is showing signs of trying to organize because there are more showers and thunderstorms that have been popping up around and near the center of circulation. But for the most part, most of that activity has been on the east side and southeast of the center of Laura. So a lot of heavy rain impacting the Virgin Islands and eastern part of Puerto Rico. Now, Laura's center is located 20 miles southwest of Ponce, Puerto Rico, and moving towards the west at 18 miles per hour. So just a little bit slower than the earlier advisory, which was at 21 miles per hour, but still moving quite swiftly along. Now, as far as watches and warnings, tropical storm warnings still in effect for just part of the northern Leeward Islands, Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, tropical storm warning for Dominican Republic, Haiti, and up through Turks and Caicos, including southeastern Bahamas, Central Bahamas, tropical storm watch. Now a new watch has been issued, and that's for eastern Cuba. It's a tropical storm watch that has been issued, as it is expected that Laura will be impacting Cuba later on late Sunday night into Monday. So let's take a look at the forecast cone and the threat area. The threat area in yellow, that indicates tropical storm conditions. By the way, tropical storm force winds do extend out 205 miles from the center of Laura, mainly on the northeastern side of the system. Now, Laura will continue the track mainly towards that west-northwest direction, impacting Puerto Rico as we know it right now through at least this afternoon. Then by this evening, making its way over Dominican Republic through tonight into tomorrow morning over Haiti. And then by tomorrow, moving over Cuba through Monday morning. And now it looks like the closest approach to Key West is anywhere between Monday afternoon and Monday evening. So that's when the wind speeds are going to start to increase. Also notice the tropical storm force conditions in the yellow now extending north from the forecast cone and including parts of the Middle Keys as well. As far as Miami-Dade and Broward, we're out of the forecast cone. We can still have some gusty squalls at this point, Monday through Tuesday, but the winds, at least the more likely sustained tropical storm winds, will be for the lower Keys. By Tuesday, Laura will be moving over the central Atlantic, and by then could become a Category 1 hurricane. And so Category 1 hurricane will be threatening the Gulf Coast states, and then by later Wednesday making landfall anywhere between Mississippi and the Louisiana coastline. So the Gulf Coast states definitely have to watch and expect and prepare for a possible hurricane. Here's a look at the computer models, and the models are mostly in agreement. We like to look at the average, and the average is that red line, and it's agreeing with the forecast cone. Of course, when it gets out into the Gulf of Mexico, these models really spread out even more with the uncertainty. But for us, we are more certain that, yes, Laura will stay to the south of us, moving over a lot of land, the high mountains of Hispaniola, and of course the land over Cuba. So Laura's going to struggle strengthening at least tomorrow through Monday, but still can manage to maintain that tropical storm status because of the quick movement it's in at that 18 mile per hour forward motion. So high pressure to the north over the Atlantic. This is why Laura is staying to the south of our area as this high expands to the west, keeping the forecast track to the south of us and then pushing Laura into the Gulf of Mexico. I do want to talk about tropical storm force wind speed probabilities. These are sustained winds, and the probability of getting sustained winds for the lower Keys is now at 45%. But notice, as you go further northward, Key Largo, less than that, 23%, and even more so for Miami, Fort Lauderdale, which means we can get maybe some tropical storm force wind gusts, but certainly not sustained winds. The sustained winds as far as tropical storm force wind speed will most likely be more for the lower Keys. So as far as preps this weekend, at least in the Keys, make sure to bring those loose items you have in the yard outside. Make sure you secure them or bring them inside. And with those high winds, there could be some power outages, so make sure you have flashlights and the batteries. Here's a look at that infrared imagery of Tropical Storm Laura, showing that it's trying to organize as the center makes its way just over the water just south of the coast of southern Puerto Rico. There's a lot of convective activity in the past few hours, but again, Laura is expected to still stay at least a tropical storm due to the land interaction that's expected from the island of Hispaniola as we head later into tonight, tomorrow. And of course, here on CBS 4, stay tuned. The next update will come up at 2 p.m. and you can join our chief meteorologist, Craig Setzer, along with Dave Warren later tonight.